Good morning, Abundant Life Church. This is Pastor Chris, and today we're going to wrap up our study on John chapter 1, verses 1 through 18. We've been talking about the idea that Jesus is the light of the world, not John. And John, the writer, specifically says, John the Baptist isn't the guy that you guys should have followed. Jesus is, because Jesus can give you so much more. Now, a couple sessions ago, when we started this study, I said this passage is about Christmas. I have no idea what day this is going to air. I shoot these a few weeks ahead, and I don't pay attention to what goes on. Right now, it's October 13th, the day that I'm filming this. Probably it's going to be up in late November. So here's the thing. Now you're thinking about Christmas. Now, sure, if you haven't had Thanksgiving yet, yeah, you got to have that. But Christmas trees are up in the stores, what have you. So this is a good passage to start with. But what does it have to do with Christmas? Because Christmas has the same dynamic that this passage does. Remember, the people would have settled for John being the Messiah, being the light that God sent, and they would have had no idea what they had missed. So let's talk about Christmas, and more specifically, exactly what people settle for when it comes to Christmas. Everybody loves Christmas. Who doesn't? There's no holiday more associated with childhood and with memories and with excitement and with family, traditions, fun, decorations. It's the one holiday even atheists take part in. But is there more to it than that? Are we missing something if decorations and celebrations are all we settle for from Christmas? Are we making the same mistake that people made back then when they were willing to settle for John being the Messiah and without even realizing it would have missed out on so much more? Again, Christmas is wonderful. There's so many things we associate with it. I remember the first year we went to Africa. We went in March, and later that year, this was in 2011, later that year, Harold, the missionary, who hopefully is going to be here like next summer or so, Harold and his wife Connie came over to the States and they bought three of the African nationals, staff members, with them. Sylvester, Dismas, and Moses all came. Wonderful guys. We made great friends with them when we were there in Africa. We were thrilled to have them in our home. We had such a good time when they were there. And it was right after Thanksgiving. So in Redmond, Oregon, they always have a big Christmas parade to kind of kick off the holiday. And they were there during the Christmas parade, so we took them to it. And they saw all these floats go by with, all decorations and Santa Claus and Frosty the Snowman and reindeer and elves and all this. And we thought they would have a wonderful time, but they asked us afterwards, what does any of that have to do with Christmas? That's a good question. I'm not criticizing any of that stuff, but that's not something to settle for. John the writer wrote that John the Baptist wasn't the light. The point was, don't settle for John the Baptist. Don't miss out on the real light. God became a man and lived among us so we could be saved. And Christmas is the beginning of that. The incarnation, the start of Jesus's earthly life here. How does that not awe you? How did that become a secondary issue behind Frosty the Snowman? You're free because of that light that God sent. God Himself came to the world, became one of us, took on sin, took on death. How is that not the main story of Christmas? Our Christmas gift is that light. That's what we're celebrating because that changes everything. All right, look at verses 9 through 11 now. The true light that gives light to everyone was coming into the world. He was in the world, and though the world was made through him, the world did not recognize him. He came to that which was his own, but his own did not receive him. That's how far I want to go. Our gift is that light. The irony of this whole story is that though God came as a humble man, he was rejected because people couldn't see past their expectations. They wanted someone to drive out the Romans. God, that's what you should be sending us. As a result, they missed the magnificent God who actually came to him. They missed the gift that God was actually trying to give them. But John's gospel is about hope. Even if Jesus was rejected, let's look at the hope that's here. Verses 12 and 13. Yet to all who did receive him, to those who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God, children born not of natural descent, nor of human decision, or of husband's will, but born of God. Even if Jesus is rejected by so many of his own people, not everyone's going to reject him. Soon Gentiles are going to start coming into the church. Some of them had accepted Jesus as the Savior, and anyone who did that, they were given the chance for salvation, to be a part of God's family. They saw the gift for what it really was. They didn't miss the true light. All right, let's take a look now at verses 14 through 18. The Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. We have seen his glory, the glory of the one and only Son, who came from the Father, full of grace and truth. John testified concerning him. He cried out, "This is the one I spoke about when I said, 'He who comes after me has surpassed me, because he was before me.' Out of his fullness we have received grace in place of grace already given. For the law was given through Moses, grace and truth came through Jesus Christ. No one has ever seen God, but the one and only Son, who is himself God and is in closest relationship with the Father, has made him known." Our Christmas present, our real joy, our light is Jesus. Jesus is a better Savior than what we were expecting. Christmas is about the greatest gift we could even fathom, the Son of God coming to set us free. Merry Christmas, and we'll see you next time.